They've lost 11 in the last 15.
All right, it's baseball time. And just touching on that, we'll start right there with the Indians. I said they're for real. They're still in first place, but they've lost what?
11 of 15.
11 of 15. The Tigers, who
game back now.
the Tigers, who I think are going to win that division, are really coming strong. That's the AL Central. The Rangers, of course,
They're healthy.
are healthy finally with the great Josh Hamilton, just an amazing player.
Cruz is back
And
too.
Cruz is back. They're running away with the West. Not really running away, but
They're 2.5 up, but it's starting to.
The Yankees and Red Sox are going to be a story all year long. It's just the Yankees are a little bit in trouble a little bit. Teixeira went down last night
Oh yeah.
with a knee bruise. I don't know how serious it is.
They're tied right now for Division League though.
You go into the National League. The Cardinals are really starting to separate themselves from the Central.
Brewers are right there though. Brewers are playing good.
But I'm going to get back to the Central in a second. The West, you got the Giants. Giants, again, Brian Sabian, really, honestly, shut up. I mean, seriously, it's baseball, dude. I mean, if Posey ran into their catcher,
It wouldn't be a big deal.
it wouldn't be a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. Posey was blocking the play, and he got ran over. It happens all the time. It's baseball, really.
If it was just sprained his ankle, it wouldn't have been a big deal.
I mean, really, and if he would just drop the ball, the game would have been over. That's getting away the play. The runner has the right of way. He didn't run out of the baseline. He didn't do anything wrong. He ran straight to home plate, ran over Posey. Posey broke his ankle, and I think his leg too. Actually, he's out for the season.
Broke a bone in his leg and sprained his ankle.
And it's like
It's not like it's hurting the Giants. Giants are almost 2 games up now on the Diamondbacks, who finally slowed down. So it's not. I mean, their backup catcher Whiteside's been playing well since they've actually hit the ball better since he got hurt. So
I mean, the Phillies are going to be there. The Phillies are even without adding Cliff Lee. The Phillies were the best in the National League for the last 3 years, 3 years. And they'll be there again. I mean, so there's no secret there. But what I wanted to talk about was a team that has been forgotten. It's one of the most storied franchises, actually, in all of baseball. They've been around as long as anybody. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 29-30. And, a lot of people say, oh, big deal. Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates haven't been 29-30 after 59 games in a long time. They haven't made the playoffs since 1992. And before that, they have the 1960 World Series, which is one of the most famous of all time. Bill Mazeroski hitting the Game 7 home run to beat the Yankees. Roberto Clemente, one of the greatest players ever, the greatest Hispanic ball player ever to play, was a Pirate. The Bully Stargell, the whole We Are Family, it's way before your time. But 1979, they beat the Orioles in the World Series. And then the Bonds and Bonilla and Van Slyke teams with Doug Drabek as the pitcher. They were absolutely outstanding in 90, 91, 92. They just happened to lose in the playoffs. They were just a great team. Then 92, they broke up, and financially they've been kind of hurt. They got a new stadium, but they've just been almost like the Royals and the A's as far as a farm system for the rest of the money teams. Yeah. Baseball needs to go to what football has, is a hard salary cap, to where the Yankees can't spend $240 million and just pay a luxury tax. It needs to be a salary cap to where if you can't afford this guy, then you need parity. The Red Sox and Yankees throw the most money around. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work sometimes, but
the NFL is beautiful.
Yeah.
NFL is beautiful. I mean, there's always a different team. There's always, the Steelers are good. The Steelers draft good. The Patriots draft good. The Patriots, certain teams do things right, but you don't see the same team in the championship every year. In baseball, it's if the Yankees or Red Sox aren't in, it's like a shock. The Braves for 14 years won their division and were in the playoffs, and this doesn't happen in the NFL because there's parity. The NFL has it right. Well, we'll see with the new collective bargaining agreement, but the Pirates, I think it's great. They're one of the storied franchises. They have Korea's 8-4. And they just got the first pick in the draft, Garrett Cole from UCLA.
Yeah, he's really good.
Normally, I would say, New York Yankees fans, look at your starter in about 6 years, he'll be your ace. But maybe things are going to change, and maybe they can keep that, and things can go the way it's supposed to be. And I'd love to see a team like the Pirates with such a storied history. I'd love to see that. And I think it's a great story. Pirates are 29-30. Are they going to win their division? Probably not. Most likely they're not. The Cardinals are a darn good team. The Reds are a darn good team. But I love to see a team like that winning. Like the A's have done it, not this year, but the A's have done it in the past with low budget, and they've been able to win. The Royals kind of hang in there a little bit the last couple of years, and they fade. But the Twins are another low budget team that have constantly won, and I love that. That's what it's all about. That's what sports is all about. The little guy winning. Nobody wants to see the evil empire, all the time. That's what it is, and I don't like that. I love baseball. Baseball is the greatest sport in the world. But
and Drupal Cabrera, hopefully
Speaking of which,
but
anyway, the Pirates are.
Bottom of 7, 1-1, hands the bullpen a 2-1 lead to the ninth. Matt Cass fixing Jack.
Everything's perfect without our producer, but anyway, I just think the Pirates to me right now are the great story, 29-30, and then that makes me love baseball. Where a team like that, the Marlins are low budget, and the Marlins are right there. I think the Marlins are going to go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, they just lost Hanley Mir, so.
And Josh and Johnson has been.
They're fading. They're 3 games back now, and the Braves are right up behind them.
That's the beauty of the wild card, though.
Oh yeah.
So you sit there and look at that, and that to me is what I want to talk about, and also the big story of Sabian just running his mouth. He just sounds just more like just a jack off every time he talks. He's like, I don't care if Cousins ever plays another game, and blah 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 blah. I mean, that's just so stupid for somebody in the front office to say. I believe he got called into Joe Torre's office, and Joe Torre, I think, gave him a little bit of peace of mind. And I think he should be fined for what he said, and basically saying that they're going to retaliate, which is ridiculous. It was a clean play.
Yeah,
Nothing happened.
Again, his ankle just got caught under him. It's not like he.
When Johnny Bench sits there and says Buster Posey's wrong, Johnny Bench was a pretty good catcher in his day. I know there's one of my friends on Facebook, Tim, is like, he threw out some rule, but it wasn't. He didn't do anything wrong. Cousin didn't run on the baseline. He didn't do anything. He ran over the guy that was in his way. The runner has a right of way. So. But that's basically what I want to talk about baseball. Aside from the races, it's still pretty early. I know Vidal had asked what our predictions were for the World Series. I still think the Phillies are going to win it all. I don't think anybody's going to really touch them. Oakland's fading. Oakland's beat up. Brett Anderson's on the DL now. That was my AL pick, my surprise pick. But I think Boston and Philly are going to be in the World Series.
I said Boston and I'll be biased and go defending champs.
It's not a bad argument. The Giants are playing, but I just think that. You have 5 aces over in Philly, and I just don't think that's.
Blanton's not nice.
Blanton can pitch when he needs to. And I laugh at Blanton because he was on the A's and I hated him, but he came and he's pitched big.
Yeah, he has pitched.
Phillies when he's needed to, but really 4 aces. But I still think it's going to be Philly taking it again. And they're doing it the right way. It wasn't like Cliff Lee took all this money to go there. He could have got more money to go to New York, Boston,
I think Texas
even
offered
stay
him
in
more
Texas. And he went to where he could have possibly won one in Texas, but he went to where he needed to go, and I think he made the right decision. And I think the Phillies are going to win it all. So.
I'm just going with the Giants just because they're pitching. Same pitching as last year. Just there's another guy in there.
Yeah, but it's not as dominant. Kane's not pitching as great.
Not right now. They're struggling right now. Lincecum's got rocked his last 2 starts.
Yeah, but
Sanchez has control problem right now.
But and Vogelsong you talked about, he's been outstanding, and we'll see. It's a long season, man. It's only June, so we'll see how Vogelsong is in September. Lincecum will be there in September. Kane will pick it up, but it's all about the rest of the guys. It's 162 games, and that's Halladay, Hamels, Oswalt. And Cliff Lee, those guys are going to do it. So, well, that's going to do it for baseball. We're going to take another break, and I didn't talk about hockey last time, and I really feel bad for that. So we'll touch on hockey, and we'll touch on some more stuff. Shaquille O'Neal, the big fella, retired. We'll touch on that too. We'll be right back.